What is up, guys? Welcome back to Just a Guy on my lunch break. As you can see, I'm actually driving while doing the video today. I don't have as much time. I'm having to take a shorter lunch, so I just want to kind of drop a quick video. And it's going to be kind of a throwback sort of video. Because what I find is that I'll have a lot of people pop onto the channel and, my channel or one of my videos will pop up based on what they search. Like, by example, let's say someone's been taking Kratom for a while. Someone is interested in stopping taking Kratom or discontinuing their Kratom use for a while. They'll go on to YouTube and they'll search up a title, something like, Kratom withdrawal tips, or just, something like that. And then it'll bring up on their homepage, or on their feed rather, a list of videos that are related to those keywords in which they searched. Okay, so with that, every once in a while I like to do like kind of a throwback video. Instead of getting on here and just talking for about 30 minutes, I'm trying to be a resource to those people who are currently in the Kratom pickle or in the Kratom trap, and they just need some quick answers. Yo, bro, just quit all the yapping and just give me what I need to know. I need to know this shit now. I'm in pain. I stopped taking Kratom yesterday, or I significantly reduced the amount I was taking. I need to know how to get through this shit without going crazy, shitting my guts out, pulling my hair out, or just saying fuck it and going right back on Kratom. So I'm going to make a quick video talking about the best way to get off of Kratom and, some things that go along with the withdrawal and how to kind of beat the withdrawal, okay? So first let me get this shit straightened out. Damn it. Okay, so the first thing to do, if you're currently on Kratom, you're looking to come off, the first thing you want to do is start taking capsules. All right, there's a saying that goes, what you don't measure, you can't change. That applies here. If you don't know how much you're taking on a regular basis, it's going to be really, really hard for you to, in a methodical way, cut down in increments, little by little, the amount of Kratom you're taking. I always suggest to people that they do a taper as opposed to a cold turkey. No, listen, I've done both. A cold turkey is doable, okay? It's just gonna suck a decent amount worse, okay? If you do a complete cold turkey withdrawal, you're looking at, just feeling probably the shittiest you've ever felt for about a week and a half. For some people, it can go up even to 2 weeks. For the most part, the acute physical withdrawals, you're looking at about 7 to 10 days, and then those kind of start to subside. After that point, it's mostly mental, it's mostly emotional, okay? But what you don't measure, you don't change. So if you're a person who's taking powder, the first thing I recommend that you do is get yourself on some capsules. If you're not going to get yourself on capsules, at least get yourself a scale so you can measure exactly how much powder you're taking on a daily basis. Best thing to do, get the capsules. That way you can say, okay, well, I took 8 capsules today. That's 5 grams. Let me cut that down tomorrow and let me only take 7 capsules, which is going to be, 4.5 grams. Understand? So first thing to do, get yourself some capsules. That way you can know how much you're taking. Second thing, about every 3 or 4 days, you're going to want to drop your dose or decrease your dose by about a half gram or a gram. In most cases, an easy way to put this is go down by about a capsule every 3 or 4 days. Most capsules are a half gram, okay? Some of them a little bit more than that. The big fat horse pill capsules, those are a gram a piece, but I don't see many of those. Most of the ones I see are anywhere from a half gram to about 3/4 of a gram, okay? So basically, essentially, you're going to be cutting down by about a capsule every 3 or 4 days. This is what they call a slow taper method. Basically tricks your body, tricks your mind into thinking that, everything's still the same here. See, you still got some Kratom, nothing to freak out about. You still got some Kratom on board. And literally, it really does kind of trick your mind and your body. And if you do a slow taper, your withdrawals should be pretty minimal. Because you're staying on the same amount for around 3 or 4 days. This gives your body time to get readjusted to the new amount that you're taking. By the time you get readjusted to that, you're knocking it down just a little bit more. So you will have some slight withdrawals, kind of some slight discomfort here and there, but it shouldn't be anything that is unmanageable for you. Whereas the cold turkey, if you're taking, 25, 30 grams of Kratom per day, on Monday night, you wake up on Tuesday morning, decide you're not taking any more, and you just go complete cold turkey, Tuesday night is going to suck total big donkey dicks and lick donkey ass for you. All right? It's going to suck real bad. So, really sorry for that metaphor. That was just really crass. And I know I have some female listeners as well, so I apologize to you in advance. That was just really, made me sound much like a sailor and or a person who has zero respect for myself. I am neither. So apologize for the language. Too late. Can't take it back. Not editing the video. So it is what it is. But it really does suck. Cold turkey does. Okay? But that's kind of how you want to proceed with tapering, and you shouldn't have a huge amount of withdrawal. Now, for those of you who are either doing a cold turkey, you're like, you know what, I can't do the taper. Just not patient enough for that. I want to get the shit done. I want to get it over with. I'm able to kind of sack up, toughen up a little bit, and just go through it. It ain't no big deal. I'd rather do the cold turkey. If you're that person, there are some things you can do that can kind of help with the withdrawals. The number one thing that I recommend to people, if you're doing like a cold turkey sort of withdrawal. Now listen, everything that I'm about to list for you that can help with the cold turkey withdrawals also goes for any mild withdrawals that you may be experiencing from a taper. They all help, okay? Only difference is, if you're doing a taper, your withdrawal shouldn't be as bad, so it shouldn't be quite as important to do the things that I'm about to list to help with withdrawals, because your withdrawals aren't going to be as bad anyway. You guys with me so far? All right. So the first thing I recommend to people is exercise. And I'm not just talking about exercise. I'm talking about strenuous exercise. Really stress your body. Okay? Something about the pushing, something about the sweating, something about the release of the endorphins when you really push your body through some rigorous exercise really helps to relax you, really helps to combat that internal physical angst that you feel, that anxiousness that you feel from going through something like a cold turkey withdrawal. You are going to have really low mood, really low energy. You're going to be very tired, very lethargic. Rigorous exercise can also help to combat those things with just giving you kind of a natural boost of dopamine. And let's just, when your body is in complete dopamine depletion mode, that's something that you really need. A little bit of energizer here and there, okay? Exercise is really, really good for that. Second thing, eat very, very healthy. If you're not a person that eats a really, really healthy diet, I encourage you when you come off of Kratom to change that, to fix that, to begin to eat lots of fruits and vegetables, things that are high in fiber content, high in vitamins and minerals, all of these things, the vitamin C, the vitamin B supplements, all of these things are going to help your body establish itself and get back to homeostasis quicker. It's also going to help flush out all of those toxins, meaning the Kratom, it's going to help flush those out much, much quicker, so you can get yourself back to baseline, ground zero, or homeostasis quicker. Okay, so the exercise, eating really healthy. The third thing, drinking tons of water. And that's one thing, you know, I don't know what the percentages are, but 9 out of 10 Americans, I imagine, stay dehydrated on a regular basis. Stay dehydrated, meaning you're dehydrated all the time. Okay, the human body, the human adult body, can process up to a gallon of water every day, which is something like 100, maybe 128 ounces, I think, is a gallon. I mean, how many of you out there can honestly tell me right now that you drink 128 ounces of water? I'm sure there's somebody, but most people don't. Most people don't drink half that. Okay, so a lot of people don't drink a fourth of that per day. You do get some water in, you know, juices, sodas, stuff like that, but then you also have all those other added sugars and things that go along with those beverages that just add more toxins into your body. When you're going through a withdrawal, you don't want to add more toxins. You want to lessen and get rid of all the toxins in your body. The best way to do that, drinking a ton of water, and that helps your body to facilitate that excretion process, that what do you call it, the detoxifying process of just flushing all of that out of your system. That also will help you get through the withdrawals quicker and get back to homeostasis quicker. Okay, so that's some of the physical things that you can do right out of the gate that can help with the withdrawals. One of the 4 things I recommend: take really, really, really cold showers. Make it as cold as you can stand it, and get up under that water and let it hit you on the head and your back and the core of your body, and just shiver as hard as you can for about 30 seconds. Then step out of the water, regain your composure for a minute. About 30 seconds later, switch it back to as cold as you can take it. Stand there, shiver, 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 shiver. Do as many sets as you can possibly stomach of this, and it's going to be extremely uncomfortable, I promise. But if you do about 3 or 4 sets of these, when you get finished, you will find that you will feel much like you just took a Xanax. Literally. You will find that your body has shivered out all the anxiousness, all the extra angst that you're holding on to, because your body is in this mode where it's like, where's the Kratom? Where's the Kratom? I'm freaking out. I need some Kratom right now. It's been used to you hammering it with Kratom every few hours, every day, every week, for months on end. Okay, it's been used to that. And then when you stop, all of a sudden your body is like, what's going on right now? What's going on? It's in haywire mode. And that's why you get all this. A lot of people describe it like you just don't even feel at home in your own skin. You feel like you just want to crawl out of this being that is an avatar to your spirit and your mind, because you do not belong in this body. You just want to crawl out of it because you don't feel at home in your own body when you're going through this. Okay, so that's something that can really help a lot at night, can help some with the sleep. Speaking of the sleep, and then I'm going to end it with this. Sleep is lack of sleep, should I say, the insomnia piece, the restless legs, the involuntary muscle movements that go on at night are probably the worst withdrawal symptom and side effect that people report from coming off of something that is similar to an opiate, like Kratom, pain pills, heroin, whatever it is. Which I'm not putting Kratom up there with like heroin. I've never gone through heroin withdrawal, but I have gone through pain pill withdrawal. And Kratom is not as bad, and there are some dissimilarities. It's similar in some ways, but it's dissimilar in some ways. And I would definitely say pain pills are worse, especially physically. But there are some ways that Kratom is very similar to those. And one of those is the restless legs, the not being able to stay still at night, just the general discomfort and not being able to drift off to sleep. There are some ways that can help with that. Now, let me just say right out of the beginning, for any of you out there that are looking for this magic solution, this magic pill, and I tell people all the time, I use the phrase, pay the piper. If you've been taking something like Kratom on an ongoing, regular basis for a long period of time, to some degree, you're going to have to pay the piper. There ain't no easy way out. There just isn't. The only way that, you know, if you do a slow taper, that's kind of an easy way out, but it's one that you really have to stay singular focused and really determined and disciplined to be able to stay on your taper and to not go back and start amping up your dosage more and stuff like that. But as far as the cold turkey, there's just no easy way. There's things that you can do that I've already mentioned that can help decrease the amount of discomfort that you're feeling and stuff like that. But the only other way will be some sort of replacement medicinal therapy. Like if you were to go see a doctor and they were to give you like Suboxone or Subutex or something like that, I hear people talk about. Now listen, yeah, that'll help you in the interim, but the problem is that keeps your body dependent on an opiate-like substance, because the Suboxone also attaches and binds to those opiate receptors in your brain. So yeah, you can get off of the Kratom and you won't have any physical withdrawals, but then at some point you got to come off of the Suboxone, right? And I can tell you from experience, I've taken Suboxone. That shit ain't no walk in the park either. The withdrawals from the Suboxone I found to be worse, and in some ways longer. It took longer to go through the withdrawals of the Suboxone too. So as far as I'm concerned, I wouldn't want to trade those two. To me, that's almost like using a fire hose to put out a lit match. You know, Kratom, the withdrawals from Kratom are not as bad as the withdrawals from Suboxone. Okay, so in my opinion, there's ways to do this at home, under your own effort, just paying close attention to your body, paying close attention to what you're doing on a daily basis, what you're putting in your body, your activity level, all those things. There's little things that you can do to help wean yourself off and help decrease the severity of the withdrawals. I wouldn't personally stop taking Kratom and go into something like Suboxone. That just doesn't make any sense to me, because then you're going to have to come off of the Suboxone, which can be even harder. Okay, so and the one thing I will say, the last thing I will say, or last two things, melatonin. A lot of people preach about melatonin. If you're in severe like cold turkey withdrawals, I'm sorry, melatonin ain't gonna do shit. Okay, it just isn't. It just isn't. The withdrawals are just too intense, and melatonin is more. Melatonin, don't get me wrong, super helpful for somebody who's not in some sort of withdrawal, having trouble shutting your brain off at night, whatever it is, just got some mental stuff going on. Pop you a 5 milligram melatonin. You know, you 10-15 minutes, you'll start to feel yourself kind of drifting off, getting a little bit more sleepy. You know, you'll start to feel those sleepy chemicals mixing around in your brain. Melatonin is one of those hormones that already exist in your body. Taking melatonin only just increases that hormone, and that hormone itself is responsible for helping you become sleepy, relaxed and sleepy. Okay, problem with the withdrawals is it'll make you sleepy, but it ain't gonna help you sleep. You know, and for all of you who have gone through withdrawals from something like opiate, you get what I'm saying. You not being able to sleep and the insomnia piece that goes along with it, it's not because you're not sleepy. You're sleepy as a mofo. It's the fact that every time you go to drift off, your body is fighting against you. And I've given this analogy a million times before. It's almost like you haven't slept for 3 days, you're tired as hell, and you have somebody standing at the foot of your bed. You lay there, you're about to go to sleep, and every time you're about to drift off, they take your leg, shake your leg. Okay, wake up, wake up, wake up. You're like, oh. They give you 2 or 3 minutes. You start to get tired again, start to drift off. And as soon as you're about to fall asleep, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. You know, it's just a constant angst, you know, like a constant physical nagging that you get the sensation in I get it in my chest, my legs, it's just a bad deal. Okay. So, but if you're doing like a taper, a slow taper, melatonin can kind of help put you over that edge to where you can go ahead and drift off and stuff like that. Okay. And the last thing I will say is kava. Now, this is one that is somewhat controversial because in some circles, kava can be considered habit forming in itself, and you don't want to trade one bad habit for another bad habit. Not to mention that kava is known to be bad on the liver, stuff like that. So this is one of those things you would be wanting to do this just for a temporary fix to a temporary problem. Okay, once you got off of the kratom and once your physical ability to drift off and go to sleep, once that worked itself out and fixed itself, put the kava away. Don't mess with the kava anymore. Only reason I mention this is because for me personally, I didn't have any desire to continue taking the kava. Kava didn't do for me nearly the same thing that something like kratom does for me. Okay, I never found myself going, oh man, I just want to get some more of that kava. Tie me off, just shoot it into my veins, man. Yeah, I never found myself feeling that way with kava. It's more like a body relaxation. You know, I never took kava and just had this feeling of like, oh man, you know how an opiate just makes you feel good about life. You could be sitting on death row, take an opiate, it's just like, life is great. What's left of it is great. You know, kava does not do that. It did not do that for me. I never got that sensation of, oh man, I just feel really good. You know, I never got that sensation with kava. Maybe it does for some people, and maybe from the perspective of an addict, someone just who always has to be under the influence of something, I could see how maybe kava would become a slippery slope. But I will say, when I was going through my taper, kava did help to kind of minimize and decrease some of the withdrawals, some of the physical withdrawals that I was feeling. So it will kind of help serve that purpose. So anyway, I'm going to go. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you got something out of it. Try to just get straight to the point and talk about, kratom, coming off of it, how to deal with the withdrawals, all that stuff, and hope it really helps you guys out. So check back to the channel. I also have a kratom taper playlist that's got, I don't know, maybe 20 videos or something in it, and I actually detailed my own process as I was tapering from kratom, and I took that all the way down till I was completely off, and then I continued the video vlog for several weeks after I came off of kratom too, talking about how I was feeling, what I was experiencing from day to day, what my night times were like, all of those things. So you may want to check that out. Anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys next time. Corey is out. Peace.